Joe, it's nice to see you again. How are you?
Great to be here. I'm excellent. Actually, I'm wrapping up my book tour. I'm in the last stages, the last week here in beautiful California, and I couldn't be better.
Well, it's great to see you again. We're here with Joe Cross, the Jack Kerouac of the Juice world. He's been on the road. You've been traveling for a long time.
I have. I started out 3 months ago, actually. I started in Australia, in beautiful Adelaide, on January 26th, which is our Australia Day. And I'm now coming up towards the, what are we now, the middle of April. And it's been a fabulous tour. I've been all over Europe, all over the UK and some of Scotland, and then most of the US. I've done I don't know how many cities, but I think that I've got one tonight, one tomorrow night, and one on Thursday night, finishing up in San Diego. And by the time that's done, I would have done 42 of these 2.5 hour, 3 hour appearances around the world, which is pretty. It's saying something, but I've met like over 4,500 people during the tour, and shaking hands or taking a photo or sign their book, and it's just been wonderful to get out and meet the people.
Would you share with us maybe a particularly memorable occasion or event or city or person?
Sure. I think actually I guess the most memorable thing that happened, believe it or not, happened on the first day. And it's funny how that can happen. Like the very first day I'm in Adelaide, and I was in this beautiful setting on top of a mountain looking out over Adelaide. It was called Mount Lofty, and there was 350 people that turned out for this day. And it was about 120 degrees. It was so hot, and we're signing the books, and there's a big long line, and because we're out in the bush, all of a sudden this kangaroo came out of nowhere and just like hopped across, and I'm like, was that just a kangaroo? I'm like signing a book, and that was kind of like fun. So it was pretty hard to top that in terms of memorable events. But look, everywhere I go is incredible, just to see the way that people come out and embrace me, and the way they come out and share their stories. And I'm just truly humbled by the turnout. And when I rock up to a city and I pull into town and there's 200 people, 300 people there, it's kind of crazy. But you know, they're all memorable in their own way.
Sure, but that kangaroo.
The kangaroo is hard to top. Hard to top.
So, you've been on tour and you're making a second documentary. Can you tell us what the scope of it is and how this is different from where you were with the first documentary?
Sure. Well, for the last really 2 years, I've been making this new film. It takes a long time to make a movie. I probably shot about 250 hours versus the first movie was like 500 hours. So I'm getting better. And movie number 3, which I'm already working on for next year, 2015, I am. I'll be better at that one. So movie number 2, Fat Sick Nearly Dead 2, which is due out in September, later this year. It's really focusing on community, how important community is, and what we, you know, so many of us, we know that fruits and vegetables are good for us. It's the doing part, and it's how do we get consciousness and awareness, and how important a community, a friend, some support, how that can shape the journey. And so we do that. We also visit some of the people from movie number 1. We go back and see how they're travelling, and we also look at the way that kids are responding. So it's just a very organic line of thinking in terms of how this story can propel forward, and I'm excited about sharing it, and hopefully the audience will feel the same way.
How would you say that Americans and Europeans and other cultures are thinking about juice differently than they did, say, when you made your first film, or even 5-10 years ago?
I think that people are realising that juice is actually drinking water filtered through plants. And when you sort of look at how successful we are as a species, it's because mostly of this beautiful combination and connection and marriage between fruits and vegetables, and nuts, beans and seeds, plant food, and humans. And we've sort of done very well with them. And I think in the last sort of 50 years we've kind of turned our back. And I think what the juice revolution has done is it sort of opened people's eyes that if you actually drink this stuff, you're you're actually drinking a lot of what I call, nutrients, or you're freebasing Mother Nature, and you're actually getting all this sunshine that's packaged up in this bottle, and you're releasing that sunlight into your body. And our cells need the sunlight. They need the phytonutrients. They need the minerals, and the vitamins, and all the different types of acids. Tens of thousands of different chemicals that are trapped in here. And so I think that when people try it, when it becomes part of a habit, a ritual, even if you just drink one of these every morning, or something of that volume, it doesn't have to be from Kreation, it can be wherever you are in America or the world. When you actually drink this and you put that into your body, you'll find that your life will change, and things will really start turning around for the better. You'll feel better, you'll look better, you'll eat less food, and you'll just be an overall sense of joy.
That's a great answer. Since you've been on the road, you must have had a lot of challenges in terms of doing what you just said, keeping to the ritual of juicing and being healthy. What are some tips you have for people who travel a lot in terms of keeping up that ritual?
Yeah, look, it's not easy, but to me it's about choices, and it's not about beating yourself up. So if your choices for that day are slim, then just embrace what you can, and don't, put yourself down. There's always tomorrow. I think that there are new technologies that are on the market now with HPP, so that's juices that have been pressurized, that are available in stores. Generally what I do is I look to book my hotels close to established juice bars that I know that are around in America, or Whole Food stores where I know that I can go and pick up a salad or something if I'm going to take a plane trip. But what I'm finding is, even with all the traveling I'm doing, it's not that difficult to go into any restaurant in America and say, listen, what? Can you please make me a salad? How about this? Imagine that you're on a diet and you're wanting to only eat plants and you're the chef. What would you make yourself? Make me one of those. So it's about asking. It's not necessarily about just getting the menu and going, oh, this is all they've got. Actually ask a question. What can you do for me? So I think if you do that, you can generally get by, and of course, if you can't, like I said, there's always tomorrow.
Yeah, I like your approach. It's very proactive, and it's also forgiving.
Yeah, you've got to forgive. I mean, too many of us have these negative conversations about, how ugly or how fat or how hopeless, or I don't think that does any good.
Yeah.
I think we've got to start to, there's two love affairs that generally are broken down for people that are in trouble with their health, and that's a love affair with plants and a love affair with themselves.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Appreciate that. I'm wondering if you would mind saying a thing or two about Kreation. I know that I met you when you came into Kreation, just a few blocks from your hotel, about 6 months ago.
Yeah, look, I mean, I think
Kreation.
I think that that I was impressed because it's here in Beverly Hills in Los Angeles. It's close to where I stay, so it's convenient for me. When I went in, and what I noticed was you had this ATM, so you can get juice 24/7. I mean, that's awesome. 2 in the morning, you've been out, you've had too much of something, and you need to balance up because you haven't done it that day. So you've got this ATM where you just put your card in and out comes the juice. That's very cool and innovative, and I like it when people push something to the limit and try something. I'm an entrepreneur myself, so I admire that and therefore reward that with trying to patronage and trying to show it. I think also, pardon?
We appreciate it.
Yeah, well, I think that you've got to support small business. I think that one of the things which I like about Kreation is you've got 3 options for me. I can come in, I can grab one of these off the shelf, or I can order up a smoothie or get a juice made from it, or I can go over to a bar where you have actually the produce, and I can put it in my own bowl and then have it made. So I like that idea of choice, and I think that that's important for a customer. I like that you're making an effort to go organic, and even though that's not for everybody because of price point, and I appreciate that, but I'm fortunate enough that I can afford it. So I think that's you know, there's some of the things, and also like, you know, it's not for me. Like I try to visit as many stores like yours as possible around the country. So I'm a supporter of all small businesses like yourself that are doing this. So you know, at the end of the day, is the service with a smile, and the lovely lady who works in there. What's her name? The young one?
Mallory.
Well, Mallory, she's not there that often. I mean, she's there, but she's not there when I go in as much. There's another lady that works in there. She's always got a smile, and she's happy, and you know, she's just very, 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 very friendly. And I think that service with a smile also means a lot as well. So you've got to have happy people.
Right.
Otherwise, you know, no one wants to go in and buy something from someone who's grumpy. So they're probably some of the reasons.
Great, thank you. Is there anything that you'd like to mention in our last few minutes together?
No, look, I just think that I think it's just great to see companies like yours and others responding to the demand. And at the end of the day, this is a country that prides itself on supply and demand economics. It's called capitalism, and you know, whenever people spend their hard-earned money, and it's hard to make money, it's hard these days, you're voting. And so the thing I love to see is that when people come into your store and other stores like yours, it's a vote of confidence for your owners and for the people who are putting their money at risk in your business, and that makes them, or gives them confidence to open up more. So the more people that can go in and support their local juice bars, the better it is for the economy, because they'll make more and they'll put more juice bars out there and more places where people can go to. And the more we can get it out there, the more we can increase the demand, the cheaper this will become. It'll become a lower price. And so that's exciting. So that's all. So think about your money when you spend. It's a vote.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Joe.
Cheers.
Juice on.
I better drink it now because we've been playing with it. Juice on. Love that.